About 6 months ago, Rhiannon made it very clear to us and to her school support team that she didn't want to have SLSOs working with her at school. It was a meeting with her support people, and she was with us and she was writing, and she specifically wrote it down: I do not need an SLSO anymore. I'm able to manage and do things on my own. So I think she's really in this transition, to senior stage, and knowing that she's moving on to adulthood soon, she's seeing herself as wanting to step up to that role quite independently. So, and she's, prepared to assert, that that's what she wants, and we need to respect that. We found that really interesting because for a long time it was something that we were seeing a few challenges with, in terms of feeling like she was developing a dependency on having aids, and almost, not building her skills up as much as we wanted to see her in terms of confidence with communicating with teachers and things like that. To start with, it was a little bit like, be careful what you wish for, because her wishes were respected and she had to start to manage without that support. And that was a bit tricky for her to start with, because she had really great support for lots of years. But it did mean that she had to come out of her comfort zone and, speak up on her own behalf for what it was that she needed. So it was a really good, growth time for her. And now we're seeing, her going leaps and bounds with it.
And so if we've got great peer-to-peer relationships coming in, it does mean that the adults in the room are more just overseeing the flow of the education. And so, it can be great to have student learning support officers in the classroom who are working with all students rather than focused on one or two particular students with need. I reflect on times when I was a student, and I do this now as a teacher, where I learnt a piano piece in Year 7 taught to me by my piano student that was next door to me. And so we were two 13-year-old boys learning how to play piano, and he taught me what I do now. And I thought, well, that was the most valuable learning experience, was learning off someone who was right there at my age and had something to share. And so I bring those techniques into my classroom, where I will team up students with other students who might need help along those lines. So it could be a piano piece. Why don't you go and show them what you're doing there on piano? And in some ways, the students end up taking the role of part teacher, part mentor, and I find that situation works really well with Rhiannon, and working alongside those peers, where she's hearing strong singers, where she's hearing weak singers, where she's working together with singers in her singing. It's a nice technique. And I find that if you let that dynamic happen in a classroom, if you let that roll, what you end up with is a really strong class where the students are actually guiding the learning and the sharing of information with each other.